My name is Grace, and this is the story of the day I learned that in my family, I was never going to be enough. Not because I didn't give enough, but because I wasn't born Ethan. Ethan is my older brother, 32 years old, charismatic, charming, and completely unreliable. He's the kind of person who shows up to family events 3 hours late with a bottle of wine and a story, and everyone acts like he's just saved Christmas. Meanwhile, I'm 27, punctual, responsible, and completely invisible. I've lived my entire life in his shadow. Not because he's more successful, I make more money than him. Not because he's kinder, I'm the one who shows up when people need help. But because he's the golden child, and golden children don't have to earn their pedestal, they're just born on it. My mom has two phone numbers saved under favorites in her contact list, Ethan and her best friend Linda. I'm in the regular list between Grace and grocery store. That should tell you everything you need to know. Growing up, when Ethan got a B on a test, it was celebrated. When I got an A, it was expected. When Ethan remembered Mom's birthday, he was thoughtful. When I organized the entire party, I was just doing what daughters do. I told myself for years that it didn't matter, that I didn't need validation, that being reliable was its own reward. But deep down, it did matter. It mattered every single time. The phone incident started on a Tuesday afternoon in late April. I was at work, reviewing quarterly reports, when my mom called. She calls Ethan maybe once a month. She calls me 3 times a week, usually because something needs fixing. Grace, honey, I need your help. Not, hi, how are you? Not, is this a good time? Just straight to the need. What's going on, Mom? My phone died, like, completely died. It won't even turn on. I tried charging it. I tried everything. I can't get any of my messages or see any of my photos. I'm completely stuck. Her voice had that panicked edge that made me feel guilty for not already being on my way to fix it. Okay, when did this happen? This morning. I've been trying to deal with it all day. Grace, I need a new phone right away. Can you help me get one? Sure, I can take you shopping this weekend. This weekend? Grace, I can't wait until the weekend. What if someone needs to reach me? Ethan, I thought. She meant what if Ethan needs to reach her, even though he never called anyway. Okay, well, I can look at some options online and we can just get me something good, okay? Something that works. I trust your judgment. I should have asked more questions. What's your budget? What features do you need? When can you pay me back? But I didn't. Because when you're the reliable daughter, you're not supposed to ask those questions. You're supposed to just handle it. Okay, I'll figure something out. You're the best. I don't know what I'd do without you. The words should have felt good. They didn't. They felt like the same script she'd been reading me my whole life, right before asking me for something else. That evening, I went to the phone store during my lunch break the next day. The salesman showed me several options. What's your budget? He asked. I thought about my bank account. I'd been saving for a vacation, my first real vacation in 3 years. I had about $2,000 put aside. I don't know. Something reliable but not crazy expensive. He showed me a mid-range smartphone. $600. Not the newest model, but solid. Good camera, decent storage, would last her several years. This is probably your best value, he said. I hesitated. $600 was a lot of money for me. I didn't make a fortune. I worked as an office manager for a small company, and my salary was okay, but not great. But Mom had been talking lately about how hard things were financially, how she couldn't afford this or that, how nobody helped her. I heard her voice in my head. I don't know what I'd do without you. I pulled out my credit card. I'll take it. I also bought a protective case, a nice blue one that I thought she'd like, and a tempered glass screen protector because I knew Mom had a habit of dropping things. $648.73 total. As I walked back to my car with the bag, I felt that familiar mix of emotions. Pride that I could help. Resentment that I was always the one helping. Hope that maybe this time she'd actually appreciate it. I drove to Mom's house that evening after work. She lived in a small ranch-style home about 20 minutes from my apartment. The same house we'd grown up in, though it looked more tired now. The paint was peeling in places. The garden was overgrown. I'd offered multiple times to help her with yard work. She always said she'd get around to it or that Ethan promised to come over and help. Ethan never came over to help. Mom opened the door with a huge smile. Grace, you got it already? Oh, honey, you're amazing. She hugged me, and for a second, I let myself believe that this time would be different, that this time she'd see me. We sat at the kitchen table, and I showed her the phone. Her eyes lit up like a kid on Christmas morning. Oh, it's beautiful. This is perfect. I got you a case and a screen protector too, I said, pulling them out of the bag. You think of everything. I don't know what I'd do without you. There it was again, that line. She opened the box carefully, holding the phone like it was made of glass. Can you set it up for me? You know I'm terrible with technology. Of course. I spent the next hour and a half at her kitchen table transferring all her contacts from her old phone's SIM card, moving her photos to the cloud and then downloading them to the new phone, setting up her email, installing her banking app and helping her reset her password because she'd forgotten it, adding her favorite apps, Facebook, Pinterest, some game about matching candies. The whole time she sat next to me watching, asking questions. How do I make the text bigger? Can you make it so my photos show up when people call? Where's my calculator app? I answered every question patiently. This was what love looked like in our family. Service, labor, solving problems without complaint. By the time I finished, it was almost 9 p.m. I was hungry, tired, and my eyes hurt from staring at the small screen. All done, I said. Your phone is completely set up. All your stuff is here. Mom hugged me again. You're such a good girl, Grace. Such a good daughter. She kissed my cheek, and I gathered my things to leave. As I was walking to my car, she called out from the doorway. Oh, and Grace, I'm having brunch with your aunt and some family friends this weekend. I'm going to show off my new phone. She said it with such excitement, like a child showing off a new toy at show and tell. I smiled and waved. Great, Mom. I'm glad you like it. I drove home with that familiar hollow feeling in my chest. The feeling of having done something generous and somehow still feeling small. Still feeling like it wasn't quite enough. I didn't know that the worst part was still coming. Sunday afternoon, I was at home doing laundry and catching up on a TV show when my phone buzzed with a notification. Instagram. My Aunt Linda had posted. I almost scrolled past it, but then I saw the photo. It was a picture from a family brunch. My mom, my aunt, a few of Mom's friends I recognized from church, all sitting at some restaurant with a view of a lake. Mom was in the center of the photo, beaming, holding up her new phone like she'd just won a trophy. The caption read, "Look what Ethan got from Mom. She's so happy." I stared at the screen. Read it again. Read it a third time. Look what Ethan got from Mom. Ethan. My hands started shaking. I scrolled to the comments. Carol M52. Ethan is such a good son. You raised him right. Susan P. Wow, what a thoughtful gift. Your boy takes good care of you. Linda, my aunt. He really does. She was so surprised. And then the one that made my stomach drop. My mom had commented, Mom, my sweet boy takes such good care of me. I'm so blessed. I felt like I'd been slapped. I had paid $648.73 for that phone. I had spent an hour and a half setting it up. I had driven to her house after work, on my own time, on my own gas money, and she was telling everyone, posting publicly for the entire world to see, that Ethan had bought it. Ethan, who hadn't called her in 3 weeks. Ethan, who lived 2 hours away and visited maybe twice a year. Ethan, who had absolutely nothing to do with that phone. I felt heat rising in my face. My hands were shaking so badly, I almost dropped my phone. I took a screenshot. I don't know why. Some instinct told me I'd need proof later. Then I opened my messages and texted my mom. Me. Mom, why did Aunt Linda say Ethan bought you the phone? I watched the 3 dots appear, disappear, appear again. Mom. Oh, honey, don't worry about it. It's not a big deal. Not a big deal. Me. It is a big deal to me. I bought you that phone. I paid for it. I set it up. Mom, I know, sweetie, but you're being dramatic. Dramatic. Me. Can you please correct the post? Just tell everyone I bought it? Mom, why would I embarrass Ethan like that? I read that message 5 times. Why would I embarrass Ethan? Not why would I embarrass you? Not you're right, I should be honest. Why would I embarrass Ethan, the son who had done absolutely nothing? Me. How is telling the truth embarrassing anyone? Mom. Grace, you're making this into a bigger deal than it needs to be. Everyone's happy. Just let it go. Let it go. I was so angry I couldn't see straight. I called her. She didn't answer. I called again. Voicemail. I sat on my couch staring at that Instagram post, watching more comments roll in praising Ethan for being such a wonderful son. 43 likes, 16 comments. All of them about how amazing Ethan was, and I was completely erased. I did something I rarely did. I called my brother. He answered on the fourth ring, sounding cheerful. Hey sis, what's up? Did you tell people you bought Mom a phone? There was a pause. Then he laughed. A genuine, carefree laugh. Oh, that. Yeah, Mom mentioned it. Honestly, I figured you wouldn't mind. You figured I wouldn't mind? Yeah, I mean, it makes me look good, and you don't really care about that stuff, right? You're not the type to need credit for things. I felt something crack inside me. Ethan, I paid $600 for that phone. Yeah, and you can afford it. Come on, Grace, don't be petty. Petty. This isn't about money. This is about, look, I get it. You want a gold star. But seriously, credit doesn't pay bills, does it? You still have your money. Well, you spent it, but you know what I mean. Mom's happy. Everyone's happy. Why are you trying to make drama? I'm not trying to make drama. You just want attention. I get it. But you're kind of making this weird. Mom said you'd be cool with it. Mom said, yeah, she said you're always cool about this stuff, that you don't care about recognition. So what's the problem? I couldn't speak. My throat felt tight. Look, I gotta go. I'm meeting some friends. But seriously, let it go. It's just a phone. He hung up. I sat there, phone in my hand, feeling like I'd just been gaslit into oblivion. It's just a phone. You don't care about recognition. You're being dramatic. You're being petty. All of it designed to make me feel like I was the problem for wanting basic acknowledgement of reality. That night, I couldn't sleep. I kept replaying the conversation with Ethan, the text with Mom, the Instagram post with all those comments praising my brother for something he didn't do. And I realized something that hurt more than the theft of credit. They didn't see it as theft. They saw it as natural, as the way things were supposed to work. Ethan was the golden child. He got credit for everything, even things he didn't do. I was the workhorse. I did everything and got credit for nothing. And they expected me to be okay with that arrangement. More than that, they expected me to fund it. The next morning, I was exhausted. I'd slept maybe 3 hours, my mind spinning all night. I got to work and tried to focus, but I kept checking my phone, looking at that Instagram post. By Monday afternoon, it had 67 likes and 28 comments. Every single comment praised Ethan. I wanted to comment, to say, actually, I bought that phone, but I knew how that would look. Desperate, petty, attention-seeking. So I just watched as my reality was rewritten in real time. During my lunch break, I sat in my car and opened my banking app. I looked at my recent transactions. April 23rd, phone store $648.73. I took a screenshot of that too. Then I did something I'd never done before. I went back through my texts and emails, and I started documenting every time this had happened. And it had happened. A lot. 2 years ago, I'd organized Mom's entire 60th birthday party, rented the venue, ordered the cake, sent invitations, decorated, set up, cleaned up. Cost me about $800 and 3 weeks of planning. At the party, Mom gave a speech thanking Ethan for always being there for her. Ethan had shown up 2 hours late with a grocery store bouquet. Last Christmas, I bought Mom a nice wool coat she'd been wanting, $200, wrapped it beautifully. Ethan showed up Christmas morning with a $15 candle from Target. When family asked Mom what she got, she raved about the thoughtful candle from Ethan. The coat was never mentioned. 3 years ago, Mom's car broke down. She called me in a panic. I drove an hour to where she was stranded, waited with her for the tow truck, drove her home, took her car shopping the next day, helped her negotiate with the dealer, co-signed her loan because her credit wasn't great. 2 weeks later, at a family dinner, she told everyone, Ethan helped me get my new car. He's so good with these things. Ethan had sent her a text saying, good luck at the dealership. On and on and on. A pattern so consistent, so obvious, that I couldn't believe I'd never seen it clearly before. I wasn't a daughter in this family. I was a service provider, a ghost worker. I did all the labor and Ethan got all the credit. And everyone, Mom, Aunt Linda, the whole extended family, was perfectly comfortable with that arrangement. That evening, my best friend Maya called me. I saw the Instagram post, she said immediately. I'm assuming you saw it too? Yeah. Are you okay? I started crying. Not gentle tears, but ugly, angry sobs. Grace, I paid for that phone, Maya. I set it up for her, and she's telling everyone Ethan bought it. I know, babe, I know. And when I asked her to correct it, she said I was being dramatic. Ethan told me I was being petty. Of course he did. Is it petty? Am I crazy for caring about this? No, absolutely not. This isn't about the phone. This is about respect. This is about being seen. But nobody sees me. I could literally die tomorrow, and they'd probably credit Ethan with organizing my funeral. Maya was quiet for a moment. You know what you need to do, right? What? Stop giving them things. Stop helping. Stop being reliable. They don't appreciate it, so why keep doing it? Because they're my family. So, that doesn't give them the right to use you. I wiped my eyes. If I stop helping, they'll just say I'm being selfish, cold, a bad daughter. They already don't appreciate you, so what do you have to lose? I didn't have an answer for that. The next day, Tuesday, Mom called me. I stared at her name on my screen for 3 rings before I answered. Hi, Mom. Hi, sweetie. How are you? Like nothing had happened. Like she hadn't just publicly erased me. I'm fine. Listen, I wanted to ask you something. My computer has been running really slowly lately, and I think it might have a virus. Can you come over this weekend and take a look at it? The old me would have said yes immediately. The new me, the one who'd spent 2 days looking at bank statements and screenshots and realizing I'd been funding my own erasure, said something different. No? There was a pause. No? No, I can't help with that. Why not? I'm busy. Busy with what? You're usually free on weekends. I have plans. I didn't have plans, but I was making plans. Plans to stop being available to people who treated me like a tool. Grace, is this about the phone? Because you're being ridiculous. I have to go, Mom. Bye. I hung up. My hands were shaking again, but this time it felt different. Not fear. Something else. Power. My phone rang again immediately. Mom calling back. I declined the call. She called again. I declined. Then came the text. Grace Elizabeth, we need to talk about your attitude. I didn't respond. For 3 days, Mom tried to reach me. Calls, texts, even a Facebook message. I didn't respond to any of them. On Thursday, she left a voicemail that I listened to on speaker. Grace, I don't know what's gotten into you, but this silent treatment is childish. I'm your mother. You don't get to ignore me. Call me back immediately. I deleted the voicemail. Friday afternoon, my Aunt Linda called. I answered. Hello? Grace, what is going on with you and your mother? Nothing's going on. She says you've been ignoring her all week. She's very hurt. I've been busy. Too busy to talk to your own mother? Grace, that's not like you. Maybe I'm changing. Well, you need to change back. Family doesn't treat each other like this. Your mother does everything for you, and this is how you repay her? I laughed. Actually laughed out loud. What does Mom do for me exactly, Aunt Linda? What? She's your mother. She raised you. 27 years ago, yes. What has she done for me recently? I can't believe what I'm hearing. You sound so selfish. There was that word again. Selfish. I bought Mom a $600 phone last week. I set it up for her, spent hours on it. Then she told everyone Ethan bought it. When I asked her to correct it, she said I was being dramatic. Is that selfish? Wanting credit for something I actually did? Silence. Then, well, you know how your mother is. She's always been proud of Ethan. And what about me? Of course she's proud of you too, but what? But you don't need the same kind of attention Ethan does. You're more independent. You've always been fine on your own. So because I'm capable, I don't deserve recognition? That's not what I'm saying. That's exactly what you're saying. I'm supposed to do everything and expect nothing, and Ethan gets to do nothing and receive everything. Grace, you're twisting this. No, I'm finally seeing it clearly. Tell Mom I'll talk to her when I'm ready, and not before. I hung up. My hands were shaking, but I felt alive. For the first time in years, I felt like I was standing up instead of bending over. Saturday morning, I woke up to 12 missed calls. 6 from Mom, 3 from Aunt Linda, 2 from my uncle, and 1 from my grandmother. They were circling the wagons. I listened to Grandma's voicemail. "Grace, your mother is very upset. I don't know what this argument is about, but you need to apologize and make things right. She's your mother. She deserves respect." Deserves respect. I wondered if anyone in my family had ever considered that I deserve respect too. I made coffee and sat on my couch, staring at my phone. Then I did something I'd been thinking about for days. I opened Instagram and went to that post from Aunt Linda, the one with 67 likes and 28 comments about what a great son Ethan was. And I commented, "Grace, just to clarify, I bought Mom that phone. I paid $648.73 for it and spent 1.5 hours setting it up. Not sure why the credit went elsewhere, but I wanted to set the record straight." I took a screenshot of my comment and saved it. Then I posted my own Instagram story, a photo of my bank statement with my account info blurred out, showing the transaction from the phone store dated April 23rd. Caption: "Funny how facts differ from stories. I'm done being erased." I tagged my mom, I tagged Aunt Linda, I tagged Ethan. Then I turned off my phone and went for a walk. When I turned my phone back on 3 hours later, it had exploded. 42 text messages, 19 missed calls, 15 Instagram notifications. I made another coffee and sat down to read through them. Mom, 5 texts. "How dare you? Take that post down right now. You're embarrassing the entire family. I can't believe you would do this. Call me." Aunt Linda: "Grace, that post was completely inappropriate. You've humiliated your mother publicly. Delete it immediately." Ethan: "Seriously? You're really gonna start drama over a phone? Grow up." Uncle Mike: "Your mother is in tears. What's wrong with you?" Grandma: "Take that post down. This is not how we handle family business." Then there were the Instagram comments on my story. Some from family. Cousin Amanda: "This is so petty and attention-seeking. Wow." Mom's friend Janet: "Airing family drama publicly is so classless." But there were also comments from friends, people I knew from work, acquaintances. Maya: "Good for you. Truth always matters." Sarah from work: "I saw the original post and thought it was weird. Good on you for correcting the record." My friend Jenna: "This happened to me with my sister. I feel you. Stand your ground." Former coworker Dan: "Facts are facts. You don't deserve to be erased." The split was fascinating. Family was furious. Friends were supportive. I didn't delete anything. Instead, I replied to my mom's text with one message: "Me. I'm not taking anything down. Everything I posted is factually accurate. If the truth embarrasses you, that's not my problem. It's yours." Then I replied to Ethan: "Me. Drama would be lying about who bought the phone and letting you take credit for it. Truth is just truth." My phone rang immediately. "Mom," I answered. "Grace Elizabeth, you take that post down right now." She was screaming so loud I had to hold the phone away from my ear. "No." "What do you mean, no?" "I mean no. I'm not taking it down. Everything I said is true. You're making me look bad." "I'm not making you look any way. I'm stating facts. You're the one who told people Ethan bought the phone when he didn't. Because I didn't want to make him look bad." There it was. Finally, the truth. "So you made me disappear instead." "Oh, don't be so dramatic. You know I love you." Love isn't erasing someone. Love isn't lying about who did something nice for you. "I didn't lie. I didn't correct people." That's called lying by omission, Mom. "I can't believe you're doing this to me." "I'm not doing anything to you. I bought you a phone. You told everyone Ethan bought it. I posted the truth. That's all." "You're tearing this family apart." "No, I'm refusing to be invisible anymore. That's different." She started crying. Big, heaving sobs. "Why are you being so cruel?" "Cruel? Mom, I gave you $600 and you erased me. That's cruel." "I didn't erase you." "Then why did you tell everyone Ethan bought it?" Silence except for her crying. "He needs the boost, Grace." "He's been going through a hard time." "And I haven't? I work 50 hours a week. I live paycheck to paycheck. I gave you $600 I'd save for a vacation, and you gave the credit to Ethan because he needs the boost? You don't understand?" I understand perfectly. I'm the workhorse. He's the show horse. I do everything. He gets all the credit, and you expect me to be fine with that. That's not... It is, and I'm done. I'm done helping. I'm done giving. I'm done being erased. So you're just going to abandon your family? I'm going to stop participating in my own disappearance. I hung up, and for the first time in my life, I didn't feel guilty. For the next week, my phone was a war zone. Family members I hadn't heard from in years suddenly had opinions about my Instagram post. Cousin Jessica, who I'd seen maybe twice in the last 5 years. Family drama should stay private. You're embarrassing all of us. Mom's friend from church. I don't know the whole story, but publicly shaming your mother seems wrong. Random aunt I barely know. Your mother is heartbroken. I hope you're happy. But I also got private messages from people I didn't expect. My cousin Rachel. I'm so glad you said something. Mom's been doing this to me my whole life, giving credit to my brother for things I do. I never had the courage to call it out. Thank you. Mom's neighbor. I've watched your mom brag about Ethan for years while barely mentioning you. You deserve to be acknowledged. Good for you. A girl I went to high school with. This same thing happens in my family. The golden child gets everything. The responsible one gets nothing. You're not alone. I saved those messages. They reminded me I wasn't crazy. On Tuesday, 1 week after the Instagram post, Ethan called me. I considered not answering, but I was curious what he'd say. Hey, I said. Okay, so Mom's been calling me nonstop, and honestly, I need this to stop. This whole phone thing has gotten way out of hand. I agree. You could have just told people the truth from the beginning. Grace, come on. Do you really need credit that badly? Do you? What? You took credit for something you didn't do. You let Mom tell everyone you bought her a phone when you didn't. So apparently you needed that credit pretty badly. That's different. How? Because look, Mom wanted me to look good, okay? She asked me not to correct people. My stomach dropped. She asked you not to correct people? Yeah. She texted me after she posted about the phone and said people were really impressed and could I just go along with it? She said you wouldn't mind. I felt like I'd been punched. Mom hadn't just failed to correct people. She'd actively asked Ethan to maintain the lie. And you said yes. I mean, yeah. It wasn't a big deal to me. It's a big deal to me. Why? You gotta help Mom. Isn't that what you wanted? I wanted basic honesty, Ethan. Okay, well, I'm sorry. There. Happy? Can you take down the post now? Mom's been crying for a week. No. Grace. I'm not taking it down. And I'm not apologizing. And I'm done with this conversation. You're really going to blow up the family over a phone? I'm not blowing up anything. I'm just refusing to be invisible. If that blows up the family, then the family was already broken. I hung up. That Friday, 2 weeks after the original post, Aunt Linda texted me. Aunt Linda, your mother wants to have a family dinner to talk through all of this. Sunday at 6 p.m. Can you come? I stared at the message for a long time. A family dinner to talk through all of this meant one thing, an intervention. They'd all sit around the table and take turns telling me how I'd hurt Mom, how I'd embarrassed the family, how I needed to apologize and take down the post. The old me would have gone. Would have sat there and taken it? Would have apologized just to make peace. The new me? Me? No thanks. Aunt Linda. Grace, this is important. Your mother needs closure. Me. I'm not coming to a dinner where everyone tells me I'm wrong for posting the truth. Aunt Linda, no one's going to attack you. We just want to talk. Me, then talk here. Over text. What do you want to say? Aunt Linda, this is a conversation that needs to happen in person. Me, then it's not going to happen. I'm not subjecting myself to a group intervention. Aunt Linda, you're being very difficult. Me, I'm being clear about my boundaries. That's different. She didn't respond. Sunday came and went. I spent the day at a bookstore, then got Thai food, then watched movies at home. My phone was silent. Around 8 p.m., I got a text from my cousin Rachel, the one who'd messaged me privately to say she understood. Rachel, so they had the family dinner without you. Mom told me about it. Apparently, everyone spent 2 hours talking about how hurt your mom is and how you need to apologize. Me, sounds fun. Rachel, your mom cried a lot. Aunt Linda said you're going through something and need therapy. Your brother said you've always been dramatic and this is just you trying to get attention. Me, of course he did. Rachel, but here's the thing. Not one person asked why you were upset. Not one person acknowledged that you actually did buy the phone. They just talked about your mom's feelings and how you should handle them better. Me, that's not surprising. Rachel, I wanted you to know, you're not crazy. You're not wrong. This family has a pattern of protecting certain people and sacrificing others. And you just stopped being willing to be sacrificed. I read that message 3 times. Me, thank you. I needed to hear that. Rachel, stand your ground. It's going to be hard, but you're doing the right thing. 3 weeks after the Instagram post, the calls stopped. No more angry voicemails. No more guilt trip texts. No more cousins calling to tell me I was tearing the family apart. Just silence. At first, it felt weird. My phone had been a war zone for so long that the quiet felt unnatural. Then it started to feel peaceful. I wasn't waking up to nasty messages. I wasn't spending my lunch breaks reading texts about what a bad daughter I was. I wasn't defending myself constantly. I was just existing. I went to work. I came home. I cooked dinner. I read books. I went to yoga classes. I hung out with Maya and my other friends. And slowly, I started to feel lighter. One Thursday evening, about a month after everything exploded, I was making dinner when I got a text from an unknown number. Unknown. Hey Grace, it's Jennifer. Rachel gave me your number. I wanted to reach out because I heard about what happened with your mom in the phone. I just wanted to say I totally get it. My family does the same thing with my younger sister. She gets credit for everything, and I'm just the backup. Anyway, I'm sorry you're going through this. Just wanted you to know you're not alone. I sat down at my kitchen table and stared at that message. Other people were seeing it too. Other people understood. I wasn't crazy. I wasn't petty. I wasn't dramatic. I was just done being invisible. 6 weeks after the Instagram post, Maya invited me to a girls' weekend at a cabin upstate. You need this, she said. You've been through hell. Let's go drink wine and remember what it feels like to be around people who actually appreciate you. We went. 5 of us, me, Maya, Sarah, Jenna, and a girl named Nicole I'd met through work. We spent the weekend hiking, cooking elaborate meals, playing board games, and talking about everything and nothing. On the last night, we were sitting around a fire pit, and Jenna asked, "So what's the update with your family?" I poked at the fire with a stick. Radio silence. Nobody's contacted me in over a month. How do you feel about that? Honestly, relieved. Really? Yeah, I thought I'd feel guilty or sad, but mostly I just feel free. Sarah leaned forward. Can I tell you something? You seem different. Like lighter, happier. I feel different. It's because you're not carrying their expectations anymore, Maya said. You're not trying to earn something they were never going to give you. I thought about that. I spent my whole life trying to be good enough, thinking if I just helped more, gave more, did more, eventually they'd see me. But they were never going to see me, because seeing me would mean admitting Ethan wasn't perfect, and they couldn't do that. Nicole, who'd been quiet, said, I cut off my family 3 years ago. Best decision I ever made. Some families are toxic, and you don't owe them access to you just because you're related. Do you ever regret it? I asked. Not once. I missed the idea of a family, but I didn't miss the reality of being treated like garbage. I stared into the fire and let that sink in. 2 months after the Instagram post, I got a text from Mom. Mom, Grace, we need to talk. Can you meet me for coffee? I stared at the message for a full 5 minutes. Part of me wanted to say yes, wanted to believe she was ready to apologize, to acknowledge what she'd done. But the bigger part of me knew better. Me, what do you want to talk about? Mom, I'd rather do this in person. Me, I'd rather you tell me what this is about first. Mom, I want to make things right between us. Me, then apologize. Mom, can we please just meet? I don't want to do this over text. Me, you don't want to apologize over text, you mean? Mom, Grace, please. I thought about it, really thought about it. Then I typed, me, I'll meet you, but only if you can answer these questions first. 1. Why did you tell people Ethan bought the phone when I did? 2. Why did you ask Ethan not to correct people? 3. Why did you refuse to correct the record when I asked you to? 3 dots appeared, disappeared, appeared again. Mom, this is exactly why we need to talk in person. Me? No. This is why we need you to be honest. Answer the questions. Mom, I don't appreciate being interrogated. Me? And I don't appreciate being erased. Answer the questions or we have nothing to talk about. No response. I waited an hour. Nothing. I sent one more text. Me. That's what I thought. 3 months after the Instagram post, it was my birthday. I turned 28. I spent the day at a spa with Maya, got a massage, had a nice dinner, came home to my apartment, and felt genuinely happy. No text from Mom, no call from Ethan, no card from Aunt Linda, just silence. The old me would have been devastated. The new me felt free. My friends threw me a surprise party that weekend. They decorated my apartment with balloons and streamers, made me a homemade cake, gave me thoughtful gifts. Sarah gave me a journal with a note, for writing your own story. No one else gets to hold the pen, I cried. Good tears this time. 4 months after the Instagram post, I got a Facebook message from Ethan. Ethan. Okay, I'm just going to say it. I'm sorry. I'm sorry I took credit for the phone. I'm sorry I told you to let it go. I'm sorry I called you petty. You were right. It was fucked up. And I should have said something from the beginning. I read it 3 times, looking for the catch. Me, what brought this on? Ethan. Honestly, my girlfriend. I told her the whole story and she tore into me. Said I was being an entitled asshole and that you had every right to be mad. She made me realize how much I've coasted on Mom's favoritism and how unfair that is to you. Me, your girlfriend sounds smart. Ethan, she is. Look, I'm not asking you to forgive me right away or anything. I just wanted you to know that I get it now, and I'm sorry. Me, does Mom know you're apologizing? Ethan, no. And honestly, I don't think she'd be happy about it. She's still telling people you're the one who needs to apologize. Me, of course she is. Ethan, I know I've been a shitty brother. I'm going to try to be better if you're open to that. I thought about it for a long time. Me, I appreciate the apology. I'm not ready to have a relationship again yet, but this is a start. Ethan, that's fair. Take all the time you need. It wasn't a full reconciliation, but it was something. 5 months after the Instagram post, Mom called me from a number I didn't recognize. I almost didn't answer, but something made me pick up. Hello? Grace, it's Mom. Her voice sounded small, tired. Why are you calling from a different number? You blocked my regular number. I had. After her refused to answer my questions via text, I'd blocked her. What do you want, Mom? I need help with something. Of course she did. What? My computer crashed. I lost all my photos. I don't know what to do. Can you come help me recover them? The old me would have said yes immediately, would have dropped everything, driven over, spent hours fixing it. The new me said, no? What do you mean, no? I mean, I'm not helping you. Grace, all my photos are gone. Baby pictures of you and Ethan, family vacations, everything. Call Ethan. I'm sure he'll help. Ethan doesn't know how to do this kind of thing. Then hire someone. I can't afford to hire someone. Mom, you couldn't afford to acknowledge that I bought you a $600 phone. I think we're even. Silence. That's really how you feel? Yes. You're going to let all those memories disappear just to punish me? I'm not punishing you. I'm just not helping you. There's a difference. I'm your mother. And I'm your daughter, the one you erased, the one you told everyone Ethan was the hero, the one you've taken for granted my entire life. I never took you for granted. Mom, you called me from a different number because I blocked you, and the first thing you did was ask for help. Not apologize, not acknowledge what you did, just ask for help. Does that sound like someone who doesn't take me for granted? More silence. Then, in a small voice, I didn't know you felt this way. Yes, you did. I told you. Multiple times. You just didn't care. That's not fair. Neither is erasing me. Neither is giving credit to Ethan for things I did. Neither is refusing to correct the record when I ask you to. I just wanted Ethan to feel good about himself. At my expense. I didn't think you'd mind. That's the problem, Mom. You never thought about me at all. I heard her start to cry. I'm sorry, okay? Is that what you want to hear? I'm sorry. Do you know what you're sorry for? For not giving you credit. And for making you feel invisible. And for, I don't know, Grace, what do you want from me? I want you to understand why I'm not helping you. I want you to understand that I can't be your person anymore when you won't even acknowledge that I exist. I want you to understand that love isn't just taking, it's also giving, and you only know how to take from me. She was full-on sobbing now. Please, please, Grace, I can't lose those photos. Then call a professional, or call Ethan, but don't call me. I hung up, and I didn't feel guilty. It's been a year now since the Instagram post. A year since I posted that bank statement and said, I'm done being erased. The relationship with my mom is complicated. We don't talk. She stopped trying to reach out after the computer incident. I'm not sure if she's angry, hurt, or just accepted that I'm not available anymore. Ethan and I have rebuilt a bit of a relationship. We text sometimes. He invited me to meet his girlfriend, the smart one who called him out, and we had a nice dinner. He's been making an effort, which I appreciate. But the real change has been in me. I bought myself a new phone last month, the latest model, $1,100. I didn't buy it for anyone else. I didn't set it up for anyone else. It's mine. And you know what? It felt amazing. I took myself on that vacation I'd been saving for. Went to the coast, stayed in a nice hotel, ate at expensive restaurants, didn't worry about anyone else's needs. I started saying no to people without guilt, without explanation. Just, no, that doesn't work for me. I stopped attending family events where I knew I'd be ignored or taken for granted. I built a chosen family. Maya, Sarah, Jenna, Nicole, a few others. People who see me, value me, appreciate me without me having to prove my worth. Last week, I got a message from my cousin Rachel. Rachel, I did it. I told my parents I'm done being the backup daughter. I'm done letting them credit my brother for things I do. I'm done being invisible. Thank you for showing me it was possible. Me? How did they take it? Rachel, badly. They said I'm being selfish and ungrateful. But you know what? I feel free for the first time in my life. Me? Welcome to the club. Rachel, best club ever. Sometimes I wonder if I overreacted, if I made too big a deal out of a phone. But then I remember, it was never about the phone. It was about a lifetime of being erased. A lifetime of doing everything and receiving nothing. A lifetime of watching Ethan get praised for showing up while I got criticized for not doing enough. It was about being seen, and I'm finally seen now. Maybe not by my mother, maybe not by most of my family, but by myself, and by the people who matter. If you're reading this and you're the reliable one in your family, the one who does everything and gets no credit, the one who's expected to keep giving while someone else gets praised for existing, I want you to know something. You are allowed to stop. You are allowed to say, I'm done being invisible. You are allowed to require that people acknowledge reality, not the fantasy version that makes them comfortable. Credit matters. Recognition matters. Being seen matters. And if your family can't give you those basic things, you don't owe them continued service. My name is Grace. I bought my mom a $600 phone. She told everyone my brother bought it, and I refused to disappear. I'm not the villain in this story, no matter what they say. I'm just someone who finally decided her reality was more important than their narrative, and I'm never apologizing for that again. The end. Epilogue. One message. A year and 2 months after the Instagram post, I got an email from Mom. Subject line. I'm sorry. I stared at it for 20 minutes before opening it. Grace, I've been in therapy for the last 6 months. My therapist asked me to write you a letter, not because she thinks you'll forgive me, but because I need to acknowledge what I did. You were right about everything. I did erase you. I did give Ethan credit for things you did. I did take you for granted. And I did all of it because it was easier than admitting that I played favorites. Ethan was easier to love. He didn't demand anything. He just showed up occasionally, and I could pretend that meant something. You demanded that I actually be a mother, that I see you, appreciate you, value you, and that was harder work. So I gave the credit to Ethan because it made me feel like a good mother without actually doing the work of being one. I know this doesn't fix anything. I know you have every right to never speak to me again. I just wanted you to know that I finally understand what I did. And I'm sorry. If you ever want to talk, I'm here. If you don't, I understand that too. Mom, I read it 3 times, then I closed my laptop and went to make dinner. Maybe someday I'll respond. Maybe I won't. But for now, knowing that the truth finally reached her is enough. Because the person I needed to save wasn't her. It was me. And I already did that.